Hi, my name is Josh DeTar, and I serve as the Mayor Pro Tem for the City of Joplin. Normally, Mayor Cortez delivers your monthly community update, but he's asked me to step in, and I'm excited to get to speak to the community this month. Responsible financial management is perhaps the most fundamental job of council and city management. Our citizens expect leadership to make responsible financial decisions and to budget within our means, to plan appropriately for the city's long-term future, not just the short term. That's why the city presents a balanced operational budget every year. That's why we prioritize financial transparency. And that's why we maintain a responsible amount of reserved funds in case we hit hard times or emergency needs which we can't always be predicted and budgeted for. The city has begun its budgeting process for the next fiscal year, which will begin November 1st and will continue through the end of October 2026. Before I explain the budgeting process, some of the concerns and challenges we have and ways citizens like you can get involved, I first want to encourage you to sign up for The Citizen, our monthly email newsletter. You can scan the QR code on screen to subscribe. It's packed full of information about events, programs, project updates, so you can better understand what's happening with your local government. So it's exciting to see major projects underway across our community, many of which have been funded by either dedicated taxes approved by Joplin voters or grants, or even a combination of both. From the new bike park, which is under construction, to renovations of Ewart Park and a variety of other smaller park improvements. From major street improvement projects to water, to sewer, stormwater, and internet infrastructure projects. From ways we've taken on housing affordability to neighborhood improvement and beautification. From addressing homelessness, drugs, and crime in our community through changes in policing, to the creation of the Park Rangers program and improvements in our fire service. Your city government's doing a lot of things and all at the same time to strengthen our community and improve how the municipal government operates as an organization. Now, while we celebrate all the progress and forward momentum, we also have to see the city's ongoing challenges and unfunded needs. I'm optimistic that the investments we've been making into Joplin will continue to foster more growth and prosperity in the future. But that doesn't mean the real challenges we face will just go away. So how do we balance this? We plan annual budgets. And the budget serves many purposes. It's a policy document, a financial plan, an operations guide, and a communications tool. It lays out the projects for the year ahead and helps the community understand how much is being spent to achieve the city's goals. Joplin's city budget process begins by assuming our current level of programs and services will cost pretty much the same next year as they do this year. And the finance department uses this to build what is called the base budget, which is the cost of providing the same services each year. Then we add in the cost of a step increase merit raise for all city staff. Keep in mind, only employees who earn a positive annual review will get the merit raise, which helps retain quality employees who are providing services to our community. The city will try to fit in a small percentage cost of living adjustment, or COLA, wage increase. If the council believes the city can afford such an increase sustainably each year going forward. This helps keep our starting wages competitive and allows for the attraction of quality candidates to fill the vacancies. Some years we have not been able to afford merit or COLA increases, which causes pays for city staff to fall behind inflation and can hurt our ability to recruit the best people who could make more money in other industries. Next, we assess the anticipated cost for replacing any equipment or infrastructure which needs to be replaced in the coming year, so we can continue to provide that current level of service. Department heads then work with the city manager to develop a list of key initiatives. These are new and novel projects which should be prioritized for the year ahead. These new projects, which improve the community, have costs. We can't afford all those costs, and so only some of those projects' costs for key initiatives will be funded in the budget. If a department requests a purchase for a new expense which doesn't align with key initiatives, the request will be denied. This is all the work the department heads and city managers must collaborate on before the finance department can finish building the proposed budget, which is a first draft. Then we will publish that first draft and make it publicly available for review before the first council meeting where the budget is going to be discussed. There'll be a public hearing where members of the public can each have up to 5 minutes to voice their concerns about the proposed budget. Council will be presented with a summary of the budget and will have time to review the proposed draft and provide any feedback to the city manager regarding changes we may want to see. Then the Finance Department and the City Manager will work to make the adjustments to the proposed budget as directed by Council, and then present the final proposed budget to Council for adoption in October. And that's an overview of the process. But I also want to explain a couple points of concern and a point of pride which I think citizens should be aware of when it comes to the way our city is managing your tax dollars. One point of concern which the city needs to address is the fact that the general fund expenditures have been rising faster than revenues. Our sales tax revenues so far this fiscal year is not growing as much as we had anticipated. We had budgeted for a 2% revenue growth, but now, over halfway through the fiscal year, we only see about 0.6% growth. Meanwhile, the cost of everything continues rising. The cost for materials, equipment, supplies, and services, which have inflated over the last few years, are not going back down. Labor costs also have to keep up so we can retain our talented public servants. Last month, Mayor Cortez explained the funding challenges facing our public safety departments. That's one area which has some unfunded needs, and we don't have a good solution yet to the financial squeeze which the city will face in the 2026 budget and beyond. We need to increase pay and benefits for first responders and all staff who deserve more competitive compensation. We need to create additional staff positions to meet growing demand for service and respond more efficiently. We need to invest in the facilities and equipment our first responders need to be effective. However, we anticipate that our 2026 budget will be too tight to cover all these expenses. On a positive side, one thing I'm incredibly proud of, and I think everyone on City Council applauds the City Manager and past councils for, is the fact that the city is a pay-as-we-go city, which means that we have very little debt. And to accomplish this, when we have specific needs that need funding, we propose a tax initiative for Joplin voters to consider, stating our specific plans for how we'll spend those revenues. Then if voters approve the tax, the city does a great job of following through on those plans by saving up the tax revenues and paying for the improvements, only when we have the money on hand. This means we're not stuck paying interest for projects of prior years. We have a certain amount of fiscal freedom thanks to this low debt approach. The debt we do hold is for specific business-like activities such as the sewer system, which is paid for using utility fees rather than taxes. I encourage you all to review the proposed budget once it's posted to the city website and ask questions at our upcoming City Council meetings when the budget will be discussed. The budget contains a lot of information, but the City Manager's budget message at the front of the document will provide a helpful summary of the projects and programs funded by the budget. So thank you all for staying informed and for being involved in your local community. If you appreciate these updates, please like and subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on Facebook and LinkedIn for the latest news.